Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pizza fans of all ages. My name is Mike and welcome to Pizzamon Mario. And today, we're going to do something a little interesting. You know how you have a lot of platform fighting games out there? Like Super Smash Bros, PlayStation All-Stars, Brawlhalla, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and the new one coming out, Multiverses? All these games have multiple characters from tons of different franchises coming together for one epic brawl. It made me think to myself, what if I made my own platform fighting game using whatever character I wanted? Like someone were to tell me, alright Mike, we want you to make a platform fighting game. You can put in whatever character you want. Whether it's a video game character, cartoon character, even a real life person. You know, put in whatever character you want. No restrictions whatsoever. So basically, Mugen rules. And I decided to try and come up with a roster for my own custom-made platform fighting game, using the characters and franchises that I like. So, what I'm going to do for this video is show off the base roster. Now, for the base roster, I put 26 characters in it. I think that's a good way to start off a game, 26 characters. I also have a spot for a random, because you know, you gotta have a random select on your fighting game. That's just a rule. I mean, I guess maybe it's not a rule, but you know what I mean. Every fighting game has one. So I'm gonna show off each character that I put into this roster, and I'll tell you why I put that character in there. So let's not waste any more time, and I'll take a seat, get comfortable, grab your snacks and beverages, and let's get started. So the first character that I would put in my own custom-made platform fighting game, this is kind of obvious, but Mario. Are you guys surprised? Of course I'm gonna add Mario onto my roster. I mean, why wouldn't I? You all know how much I love this franchise. I mean, my entire channel is dedicated to Mario. Well, for the most part. I mean, I've done more than just Mario stuff, but at least 90% of my channel is focused on Mario, so he's got to be in the roster, you know? Now, I put 5 Mario characters on this roster. Would have added more, but I want to fill the entire roster with Mario characters. I've already did that kind of with another franchise, but you'll see that in a minute. So, the second character on this roster to go along with Mario is none other than Luigi. Of course, Luigi needs to be here too. You can't have Mario without Luigi. Who ever heard of a Mario without Luigi? I haven't. Have you? No, you haven't. Because you can't have Mario without Luigi. It's a rule. They're separated, the world will explode! You know? Anyway, the third Mario character in my custom-made platform fighting game roster is Yoshi. So with these 3 characters, they make up my top 3 favorite Mario characters, so they all have to be in the roster. And plus, hey, who doesn't love Yoshi? You gotta love that little green dinosaur. So he's gotta be in the roster too. What more do you want me to say? Now, the 4th Mario character in my custom-made platform fighting game roster. The current PCW champion, Donkey Kong. Another one of my favorite Mario characters, so he's gotta be in the roster too. Plus he can really pack a punch, you know? This dude's pure power. He can knock you out with one punch. You know? How can you not want him on the roster? And the final Mario character on this roster, at least the base roster, is none other than Bowser. You know, Bowser's here to add a villain onto the roster, because, you know, fighting games need villains, right? And hey, if this custom-made platform fighting game had a story mode, Bowser could be the main antagonist, along with the other villain I put on that roster, which we'll see later. So those are all the Mario characters I put on this roster. I could have put like Peach, Daisy, Wario, Waluigi, maybe even Toad onto the roster, but like I said before, I didn't want to fill up too many Mario characters. But hey, if I decide to do a DLC portion of this little project, I guess you can say, maybe I'll put that on there. Who knows? But now, let's move on to another franchise. I want to talk about the Sonic the Hedgehog series. As I'm sure some of you may know, Sonic is my second favorite video game franchise of all time, so gotta have some Sonic characters on my roster. Let's start off with Sonic himself. I mean, Do I need to explain why Sonic is here? I mean, if I'm gonna put in Sonic characters, why would I not put in the man himself? You know? Hey, maybe we'll have a better moveset here than in Smash Ultimate, because I know a lot of people don't like Sonic's moveset in Smash, so maybe if I could, I can make a better moveset for him here. It's like in Project M. Moving on to the second Sonic character on this roster. There's 4, by the way. Tails. Kind of like Luigi I mentioned earlier. Gonna have Sonic, gotta have Tails. You know, Tails has some gadgets at his disposal, so I'm sure he can bring a lot to the table on the roster. Now for the third Sonic character, I was gonna go with Knuckles, but I actually decided to go with Amy Rose. Now why did I go with Amy over Knuckles? I guess to add a female rep to the game, because we can use some females on the roster too, and hey, Amy's a good fit to the roster, I feel. She's got that hammer, smack the heck out of her opponents with it, And the final Sonic character I added to the base roster of my custom-made platform fighting game, none other than Dr. Eggman. Same case with Bowser to add a villain onto the roster. Bowser and Dr. Eggman are 2 of the most iconic villains I know, so they should be in the roster, right? So those are all the Sonic characters I put on the roster. I know I could have put in Knuckles, Shadow, maybe even Cream the Rabbit, because he's my favorite Sonic character, but same case with Mario, I didn't want to fill up too many Sonic characters right off the bat. So, yeah. Moving on to the second row of fighters, we have another video game character, and that is Kirby. Probably my 3rd favorite video game franchise of all time is Kirby, so that's why he's on the roster. That copy ability of his, he can take a move from any opponent that comes across him. Kind of interesting to see him use it against some of the later characters on the roster. So, that's why he's on the roster. Now the next character in my custom-made platform fighting game roster is Arl from Puyo Puyo. Kind of a strange choice for some people, I'm sure, but I'm a big fan of Puyo Puyo. It's one of my favorite video game franchises, so I had to have a Puyo Puyo character in here. And Arl had to be that character because she's kind of the main protagonist of the series. And she also was a character I wanted in Smash Bros. Ultimate, but unfortunately she didn't make the cut. But since this is my own custom-made platform fighting game, I can put in whatever character I want. I can put an Arl in here. It'd be interesting to see how you can put a Puyo Puyo-like moveset into a fighting game, such a platform fighting game, using the Puyo Puyo mechanics. Arl has other moves she can use, like some of her magic. She can be like, Fireball! Ice Storm! Stuff like that. If you played Puyo Puyo before, you know what I'm talking about. Now the next character on my custom-made platform fighting game base roster is Mega Man. Another one of my favorite video game franchises is Mega Man, so he has to be on the roster as well, right? He's a super fighting robot. He's been in tons of fighting games beforehand, like some of his own arcade fighting games. He's also been in Super Smash Bros., Marvel vs. Capcom, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Well, technically that was Mega Man Volt, not classic Mega Man, but still Mega Man. Well, still Mega Man, it doesn't count as a Mega Man. Who cares? Mega Man. In this roster. Yeah. Now I have one more video game character in this roster. And that is none other than Crash Bandicoot. Again, another of my favorite video game franchises, so had to have Crash in here. And plus, he's a character I wanted in Smash Ultimate as well. But unfortunately, he didn't make the cut, which is a shame because he was actually my most wanted character. But since this is my custom-made fighting game, putting whoever I want with no restrictions whatsoever, best believe I'm putting Crash in this roster. And I'm sure if this was a real game, people would be happy to see Crash on the roster. So I had to include him here. And that's it for the video game characters. Also, we want the cartoon characters, shall we? Can anyone guess who the first cartoon character on the roster is? Yep. It's Spongebob Squarepants. I'm sure nobody's surprised by this pick at all. You guys know I love SpongeBob. You all know it's my favorite show of all time. Why would I not put him on my roster? I mean, if I'm making a custom-made platform fighting game, I can put in my own characters. Why would I not put SpongeBob in there? I mean, that's like if you decide to put ketchup in your cereal instead of milk, That just wouldn't be right. Plus, that'd be gross. Why would you want to do that? And along with SpongeBob, we also have his best buddy, Patrick. Much like Mario and Luigi, Sonic and Tails, if you have SpongeBob, gotta have Patrick. I mean, these two are inseparable. They must be on the roster together. Just saying. Now, these aren't the only Nicktoons characters I put on the roster. I put in 7, actually. This is what I was talking about before with putting too much from one franchise into the roster. But to be fair, these last 5 characters are from different Nicktoons, so this is not that big a deal. So I'm going to show off these next 3 at the same time, and I'll explain why in a minute. We have Jimmy Neutron, Timmy Turner, and Danny Phantom. Now the reason why I'm showing these 3 off at the same time, because they all have a similar reason to be on the roster. Jimmy Neutron, Fairly OddParents, and Danny Phantom, along with SpongeBob, make up the Nicktoons Unite team, the original one. And I say that because Tak was introduced into the Nicktoons Unite team in Attack of the Toybots, but I didn't put Tak on the roster, so yeah. And, there could be some interesting matchups with these 3. Jimmy, he can fight Donkey Kong, battle the Fudge Heads. DK can get back at Jimmy for stealing his hairstyle, making it bigger. Jimmy can also fight with Tails, 2 geniuses using their gadgets and inventions against each other. Be a very entertaining match. Timmy can fight, I don't know, Yoshi, maybe Crash, I don't know. And Danny can fight Luigi. And Luigi's dealt with a lot of ghosts in his time, but not the Ghost Boy. So that'll be interesting, And the other 2 Nicktoons characters I have on this roster are Aang and Jenny. So for Aang, he's the last Airbender, a crime fighter, and this is a fighting game we're talking about here. If we're gonna have a fighting game with Nicktoons characters in there, gotta have Aang in, right? That'd be like if you put milk on a hot dog instead of ketchup. This wouldn't be right. But again, also gross. Jenny, the same thing. She's a crime-fighting robot. She should be part of the roster, right? Another female to the roster. Same with Aurel, I forgot to mention that earlier. Hey, another robot to fight Mega Man. That'd be a dream match right there. Mega Man versus Jenny. Wonder who would win. Who do you guys think would win a fight between Mega Man and Jenny? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, Aang and Jenny come from 2 of my favorite Nicktoons, Avatar: The Last Airbender and My Life as a Teenage Robot, so another reason why they should be on the roster. That's it for the Nicktoons characters. I've got 6 characters left. We have another cartoon character, Bugs Bunny. You guys may know I'm a sucker for Looney Tunes. Gotta have some Looney Tunes characters on my roster, and Bugs Bunny has to be one of them. It's Bugs Bunny we're talking about here. One of the most iconic cartoon characters of all time. How could you not want him on the roster? To fight SpongeBob. Battle of 2 iconic cartoon characters. Sign me up. Bugs can taunt his opponents. Be like, what a maroon. What an imbecile. It'd be funny stuff. And to go along with Bugs, we also have Daffy Duck. Again, like with Mario and Luigi, Sonic and Tails, SpongeBob and Patrick. Gotta have Bugs, gotta have Daffy as well. Gotta have Bugs' partner in crime. Daffy would be a pretty funny character on the roster, I could just see him having a fight with Crash Bandicoot, They make an amusing fight, if you ask me. The next character I have in my custom-made platform fighting game base roster is another cartoon character, and it's a Disney character too. And that is none other than Kim Possible. I don't think I mentioned this on the channel before, but I do like Kim Possible. It's one of my favorite Disney shows. I binge-watched the show over the summer along with Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I became a fan of it ever since. I like to see Kim being an interesting fighter in a fighting game, using her cheerleading / crime fighting skills in battle, using a lot of her gadgets like a grappling hook and whatever kind of weapons Wade can give to her in battle. I think it'd be a lot of fun. It'd probably be one of the, maybe not S tier, but maybe A tier characters. I don't know, who knows? This isn't real. The next character we have here is, I guess, another Disney character technically? Well, it's a Marvel character, so I guess we'll count as a Disney character. Spider-Man. Now, personally, I've never been that interested in the superhero genre, with Marvel and DC, but I've always liked Spider-Man. I've always had an interest in him. I guess you can say it's my favorite Marvel superhero, or superhero in general. So I'd probably have to put him on the roster as well. I think he'd be a fun character to use, actually. Maybe a little busted though with a lot of his web moves. You know, the web swing and trapping people in webs. He could be pretty busted, like an S tier character. You know, S for Spider-Man. How about that? Okay, we got 2 more characters left. And these are both real life people. Like I mentioned before, put in whoever I want, even if it's real people. No restrictions whatsoever. So I'm gonna show them off at the same time because they're both from the same franchise. It's John Cena and Rey Mysterio from WWE. Yes, I put 2 WWE wrestlers in this roster. You might be asking yourself, why, Mike? Why? Well, like I said before, this is my custom-made platform fighting game. I can put in whoever I want. And you know, WWE, I'm a big fan of it, you know? My favorite things in the world, so why would I not put WWE characters in here? You know, good meme status, having John Cena beat up Bowser, beat up Donkey Kong, you know? And I chose John Cena and Rey Mysterio in particular because they're 2 of my favorite WWE superstars. So, yeah. I was only going to put in John Cena at first, but so you know what? I like Rey, my second favorite wrestler, so I had to put him in too. You know, with his high-flying maneuvers, he can really tear up the competition, you know what I mean? And yeah. And like I said before, the other question mark is the random space, because you gotta have a random selector. But yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This would be my roster if I was to make my own custom-made platform fighting game. So, let me know in the comments below, if this was a real game, would you guys play it? And if so, who would you main? Me? I don't know. That's a trick question. I mean, between Mario and SpongeBob, Bugs Bunny, Jenny, Kim Possible, John Cena, and Rey Mysterio, I don't know who I would main. That's really tough. Yeah, let me know who you guys would main. And let me know in the comments below if you want me to do like a DLC roster or anything. Or any other forms of like my own custom-made platform fighting game, like stages or anything. If I could do that, you know, I think it'd be kind of fun. So this is interesting, right? Something a little different. Putting myself in the game developer's seat, come up with my own roster and whatnot. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys did. So, let me know if you want me to do more stuff like this. Maybe we can make like a series where I make my own video games and you know, stuff like that. Well, for right now, time for me to hit the road. That's gonna be it for today's video. Did you like it? If you did, give me a solid and punch the like button below like a piece of dough. And this is your first time on this channel, and you like what you saw, and you want to come back for more, hit that subscribe button so you become a member of the Pizza Man Mario Party today. Share the video with your friends, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, or whoever you want to share with. Hit that bell and turn on notifications so you can be the first one to see all upcoming videos. And over the time, leave a comment. Till next time, this is your boy Mike, signing out. So, peace out, y'all, and hope you have a great rest of your day.